investing is one of the broadest disciplines you can engage in. The kinds of factors that affect the future performance of a business are numerous. They cross boundaries of different disciplines. And so one really has to be kind of a, Swiss Army knife kind of thinker of different ways. And the world is a very uncertain place. So if we are trying to figure out what a business looks like 5 years or 10 years or 15 years from now, by definition, that's going to have a high error rate. There are so many variables that can change those outcomes, right? And so John Templeton said that even the best investor will be right only 2 out of 3 times. And if your batting average is 65%, that's the top end of what you can expect as a batting average. If I looked at every acquisition Berkshire Hathaway did, they may have done maybe 100 acquisitions in the last 50 years. A majority of those acquisitions, I don't think worked. This is Warren Buffett making these acquisitions, supposedly the best investor of all time. And there were lots and lots of bets he made on retailers that did not work. So when I look at someone like Warren Buffett, and I look at his track record when he's bought retailers, it's a terrible track record. When I look at his track record when he's invested in banks, it's a perfect record. He's never lost money. But he's invested in airlines, and that hasn't worked so well. He's invested in retailers, and that hasn't worked so well. In a number of areas that he went into, it didn't work so well. But I gave you the extreme example of my investment in Amazon. If I had just kept that investment, it was just 5%, and the other 95% was all mistakes, and they all went to zero, it wouldn't have mattered. Okay, so in that case, it would have tolerated a 95% error rate and still had an incredible outcome. So the interesting thing about investing is, because the returns you can generate from some businesses are so asymmetric with the risk taken, that this is a business that can tolerate a pretty high error rate. So one should be under no illusions that one is going to be right all the time, or even right 40% of the time or 50% of the time. As long as you are patient, very patient, as long as you stick to your circle of competence, invest in things that you understand well, even if you're patient and stick to your circle of competence, you'll still have an error rate like Buffett did, but it won't matter. He still became the wealthiest guy on the planet. It didn't really matter. Mistakes are part of the landscape. We embrace them, we learn from them, don't try to learn too much from them, and we keep moving forward.